Well, we are excited about our opening guest here today on this show on 365 Sports. Dillon Gabriel, quarterback, Oklahoma, joins us on the show this afternoon. It's been a long day, I know, but
long day.
Yeah, you will sleep well tonight. But it's fun to be here, and a lot of people intrigued by you and your story and the new things at OU. Has that kind of been the theme today?
For sure. I got this a little earlier, being the new face on the block. There's just a lot of questions, but that's all good. I'm here to answer them, and super excited that I've been able to get here. So
you did see some old faces though. We saw the UCF guys. We've gotten to be buddies with them a little bit.
Yep.
We had got the pamphlets and everything like that.
Yep.
I saw them run into you. Was that kind of cool just to see them checking out the Big 12 and what that's going to look like for UCF?
For sure, and I've obviously being there for 3 years, just have had a lot of relationships and friendships that I still keep in contact with and connected to, and know those guys really well. So it was great being able to connect and see them again.
What does the history, the pedigree, the legacy of Oklahoma quarterbacks mean to you?
For me, man, this is something you dream of, right? Like I was saying, earlier, like just being in the backyard and throwing my dad and, always, just messing around and being like, man, this is a game winner. It's a 2-minute drive to go win the game, and being in a hostile environment, being in, big atmospheres. That's what you dream of, and it's what I'm excited for. I see it as opportunity to go, showcase my abilities, but do it with a bunch of great dudes and, led by a coach that, I'd run through a brick wall for.
Did you ever imagine this type of a scenario just ending up in Oklahoma? I mean, was that even ever a thought in your mind before college football kind of flipped on its head a little bit?
It's crazy. It never was, right? But I think God, works in mysterious ways and, has put me right where I need to be. And, through that whole process, I think, I just learned how to be patient, and just know that I got no control. God's got all the control and has this path for me that, I'll just follow. And, knowing that, I feel really confident. Like I said, I know where I'm supposed to be.
What about one system compared to the other? And it may not be system, offensive game plan, whatever anyone does. How much of a difference is there for you?
I mean, for Coach Levy, I think it's evolved, right? Like from when I was at UCF to now, in 3 years we both evolved and have grown. And just being able to see that on his side, being able to see, from UCF to Ole Miss to here, just the mixture and kind of touch he's put on his own style of, football. I mean, it's been really cool to see and really neat. And, kind of just found all the answers we were looking for, back then and now. And like I said, it's super cool to see.
What were your thoughts on Big 12 football? Or what thoughts did you have just as a college football fan, player, what have you, before, joining the league?
Just think this conference has a lot to offer. And, playing this conference, playing against a bunch of great teams. That's why we line it up and go play the game, to be in great atmospheres that each and every fan base, has, and being able to play the game, man, and find out who's the winner, who's the loser. That's why we play it. We don't play for preseason, rankings or any of that. Let's go play the game, and that's the beauty in it all.
We were just talking before he got over here. He's talking about just the preseason's been very long. I mean, it's been a long time. A lot of talk about who did this or who did what or who's. Are you ready to just kind of play football right now?
For sure, and that's why you train and that's why you grind and not, obviously to see results, but for those times of training to translate to the field. And that's what I'm most excited for because I know a lot of guys have, really took it and just ran with it, in the spring and the summer and have really been sponges to just learn, everything in the new offenses, new defense, whatever. And that's what I'm most excited to see.
You played at UCF. They're about to join this conference. Craig brought that up. Was there any doubt you guys could compete when you were there? If given the chance, not just a bowl game or maybe one game, but compete week in and week out in a Power 5 autonomy conference?
Never a doubt. I mean, you look at Cincinnati and they're in the Final Four, right? And that's a group of 5. So I think, like I said, this is why we play the football game. And that's why I love when there's all these teams and hypotheticals, whatever. Like, man, let's line it up. let's strap it on and play for 60 minutes, see who comes out as a winner. And that's why, you know, you look at basketball, you look at baseball does it, you look at softball does it. You know, there's brackets you got to go through to be a crowned champion, you know. And that's the cool part about it.
What's this experience been like? We were talking to your old friends earlier, and they're like, this, you know, they're looking forward to this whole setup, you know, starting next year. But what's it been like to kind of go through this car wash, as some people call it?
Super cool. First time ever media day, I think. Freshman year, obviously a freshman, didn't know who the starter was going to be my freshman year, but COVID happened. Nobody wanted to do it after COVID again, but, you know, this is the final year we're kind of like back or whatsoever. So great experience, meeting a lot of great people, and like I said, I love college football because everyone's so passionate about, you know, their team.
Was there ever a question this is the sport you were going to play when you were 5,
For
9?
sure. No, yeah, I loved baseball. Was a pitcher. Was the game I thought I was going to go do it, but just wasn't end up being it. Loved football. Always loved football, but I think, you know, in the 7th to 8th grade range, I really knew this is what I wanted to do.
Who put the ball in your hands? Who was who got that spark started for you?
It was me. You know, my dad played football at University of Hawaii and did what he did, but I think he wanted me to, you know, want it for myself, wanted to play the game, and didn't want to force it on, you know, any one of us, me or my 2 brothers. So I think me wanting to play football, me wanting to play all the sports, you know, he was, of course, excited about it. And I've always wanted to be like my dad, so, yeah.
There you are.
Yep.
I asked you about the legacy, the lineage, the history, tradition of quarterbacks at Oklahoma. What's it like, that logo? What does that mean to you? In such a short amount of time.
It's such a short amount of time, yeah.
That Jordan logo especially, that thing just pops, man. And not everybody's got that, you know. A lot of people got the Nike swoosh, but not a lot of people got the Jordan.
I'll say this. The OU logo, to me, means family. And I say that because in this short amount of time, I felt like I've been able to gain new relationships and also rekindle some, right, with Coach Levy. But it's just family. You know, I look at Coach Leb, and I know I'm going to war with family and preparing with family, and just knowing that whenever there's family involved, you'll go on above and beyond for anyone.
So you got family and your real family, football ties, your I guess adopted family in so many ways of football. I mean, it's everywhere you look, right?
Everywhere we look, it's all I know, but it's also something I love. I'm obsessed with the game. I'm passionate about it. And I love the process. You know, I think that's what really has gotten me, you know, this far, is just loving the process, loving the preparation, you know, week to week, and then loving finding ways to win, you know, seeing, you know, third down conversions, touchdowns. I mean, that's what gets me excited. That's what wakes me up every morning. So for me, this is all I know.
You had to miss some football.
Yep.
What was it like to not have it?
It was hard. I think it was the first time I really had to do that. And, you know, you go through a whole January to July or August, you know, training and grinding. You feel so confident going into the season, which I did. Just freak things happen, you know, last play of the game. I mean, gosh, just things happen in life, right? But I think God, like I said, I go back to this, works in mysterious ways, and I wouldn't want it any other way. You know, I'm here now, and I'm blessed to be here. I'm grateful to be here, but I've learned so many lessons from that, and how to better take care of my body, you know how to change my mentality, you know, how to hit a level I never thought I could reach. So all that involved, I think I just looked at it as a lesson that needed to be learned, you know, that God put in my life, and, you know, I'm just super grateful for it.
When's the first time you met Coach Venables?
The day I committed.
The day you committed.
You know, in Hawaii, Zoom called me with Coach Levy at 3 a.m. just because
time change, yeah.
Time change, but also school started for UCLA at like 10:30, which is 8:30 Hawaii time, or 7:30, and then obviously 12:30 Central Time. So all this was going down, and I'm like, you know, I got to talk to Coach. But, you know, that instant connection, obviously the relationship with Coach Levy, you know, he called me, you know, right after that call, and he goes, Boomer Sooner. And then we're here. 8 hours later, sent the graphic out. I was committed.
Did you feel that sense you had made the right decision when you made the decision? Because it was tough, and you had already, UCLA and UC. You could sometimes when you make a decision, you don't have any regrets.
It was it was really just a sigh of relief. I felt home. I felt ready to go. I felt very confident in it. But most importantly, the transfer process is a tough one. Anyone who goes through it, give them a lot of respect because, these are guys who are just trying to do best for them and their family, when they go through the transfer process. And it's not easy because, you weigh out a lot of things. But just going through that process, like I said, I learned so much, changed my perspective on a lot of things, and, really made me realize, just go all in.
We, as media or people watching this, some of us might have a better idea than others of kind of like the college athlete life, but I think there's a lot of unknowns of what you guys go through. And we might just see transfer portal, NIL, all the big topics, and
exactly.
It's like, oh, well, they're coddled or they're this or, whatever.
And everyone's opinionated. Because they can. You know what I mean? And that's why I always try to see their perspective because we'd be wrong to say we don't see the fan or the, the media side of things because – shoot, you guys are in this as well with us. You got a job to do. We have a job to do. We're also passionate about our fan bases. So I understand that, and I understood why people would be mad. I understood why people would have mixed emotions. But I think we all need to realize, just like any other job, like people leave a job because it's a better opportunity or just an opportunity that can change their family's, circumstances. So I always try to look at it like that. I always try to see other people's perspectives because I get it. I understand it.
If we all just, did that, can you imagine how great the world would be instead of what we do, man? But having said all that, I know the Oklahoma fan base. My cousin lives up in Norman. She went there. Her husband went there. My mom's from Oklahoma.
Yep.
You talked about, just kind of the reaction of that, but that's a massive fan base. How quickly did that hit you of just how big Sooner Nation is and how much they love their Sooners and how gung-ho they are?
It was huge just seeing how, social media reacted in the beginning and all that. But I think the spring game is what really, showed me, this is the spot, The spring game was the biggest crowd I ever played in front of.
Yeah. Set a record, right? It was the record this year
exactly.
or whatever.
Yeah. And that's in my whole college time. So that's exciting, and that's what I love about the Big 12 or just teams in this conference. Bunch of passionate fan bases, playing football is what it's all about. Go strap it up, go play for 60 minutes.
Can't wait. Yeah, can't wait to get to that point, right? Let's go.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. It's such a fun time. As much as the fans have fun, the coaches love it. That's why they do it. The team loves it. This is what it's all about. So that's why, like I said, we all understand it. We want to get to that point. We want to strap it up.
Good luck, man. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Good to meet you. I've read about you, good to meet you here, and good luck this year, and thanks for coming over.
Thank you so much.
Dillon Gabriel, Oklahoma quarterback, with us, Sikkim 365 Radio and 365 Sports. Back with Texas running back Bijan Robinson on Sikkim 365 Radio.